All right, everybody, we are here. It's your host, LaToya Riggins, host of All Things Craft, and we are here live at the DC Men and ECE conference in DC. Of course, it's in DC, and we are here with none other than.
I'm Davion.
This is Davion, you guys. If you don't remember, he was a featured guest on one of our sessions of the whole series of the Men and ECE, coming all the way from Philly. All right. So first, let's give them a quick background on you coming on the show, like how you made it onto the show, and then we'll talk about your background and everything.
Okay. I came on the show with my mom. she said that she had a conversation with you and she told you about me. So that's how we got connected to get on the show. It's my first time being on a show like that, or just doing like live stuff. I'm a very nervous person.
Really?
No. Yeah.
You were such a natural on the show, like, and the thing is, guys, he was on a trip, like he was at work, because you're a teacher, he's a teacher, so he was at work on a trip with the kids. He on a trip with the kids, right? Just doing his thing, and with Found Town, I was so excited about this because I didn't know whether he was gonna make it, because it's Fridays at 1, so most people are in class. He's over here taking the kids. What are they doing? They're doing something, and you had a chance.
We were at the indoor amusement park in New Jersey.
Oh, y'all took them all the way from Philly to New Jersey? Mm-hmm. How y'all do that? Y'all have a bus?
School bus.
Oh, do y'all have a school bus, or y'all rent a school bus?
We just rent a school bus.
I love that. So y'all go on trips. See, don't get me started into the centers, because I'm a mom, so when I talk to clients, I'm talking to them as a consultant, of course, but my mom hat is always on, and I tell them, like, I love centers that take the kids on trips. I love that exposure. And nobody really likes to deal with trips because you gotta keep track of the kids and all the things that could happen.
It comes with a lot.
But it's worth it though.
It is, because they enjoy themselves, especially the ones that've never been anywhere. They enjoy the experience of going through places, different places, and they just also like to enjoy with their friends as well.
Right. That's the cool part. I was one of those kids that love trips, so that's why I love for my kids to experience trips. Mm-hmm. So I brought that up because the thing is, in this industry, everybody's super busy. So finding time to do things like come on the show and talk about the real things that's happening in the industry, that doesn't always, lend itself to you that time. And coming all the way out of town from Philly to DC to attend the conference. So before we get into the conference,
it was a.
So what did you do? You took the train?
Challenge this morning.
Really? Because you can't. You're not staying. You're going right. You're coming turning around.
Right back, because I waited the last minute. My mom yelled at me. I waited the last minute.
Shout out to Patricia.
I waited the last minute to buy my train ticket, so it was expensive. So I figured some stuff out. I was like, okay, I can do this. But then me going so fast, I made a mistake and booked my ticket from Washington D.C. to Philadelphia. So I had to call them early this morning when I got the 30th Street station, and they switched it around, but I thought they would be able to just switch it and that'd be cool. I had to pay more money
to switch it.
Yeah.
So you really okay? See, this is why in this industry it takes for someone to go above and beyond. Now with the education piece, that's one thing that I take my hat off to you guys is the amount of education. I know this is the education industry, but the education is just not for the children, it's for the people, the educators, the administrators, the leaders, everybody has to constantly be educated. So that's why I love this industry, because you can learn so much, because you got people who are always, doing it, but they have to keep their knowledge up, and that's why I love going to conferences, because this is the opportunity that people get to really keep that going, and it's a one-shot deal. So today it's all days of classes, right? I think it's eight PLUs, professional learning units. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. And
okay.
And about how many classes was it all to pick from? Well, you just ballpark it like 8, 10. You can kind of mix and match, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So we're at the midpoint, like lunchtime. So, about how many classes do you think you've taken so far since
I
you
just
got
took
here?
one.
Oh, how long was it?
It kind of it started late, so I took one. It was from 10 to 11:30. It was really good.
Okay.
His name was Calvin Moore Jr.
Calvin Moore Jr. What was it about?
The central of men being in ECA. Basically, how can we invite more men into ECE, or what is the challenges for men who are already in ECE? What is their challenges being a male teacher in the ECE field?
Mm-hmm.
So it was very interesting to hear a lot of the males' stories. There was one individual who this is his first year in ECE. He talked about the challenges he had to face with not just his co-laborers but also the parents. He's the only male inside of his childcare center, so it was a big challenging because he talked about how he really never got support from his laborers that worked with him. So he was like, it kind of hurt because I thought I would get, I expected it from the parents because most parents is like, he's a male. Why is he working with my child? What is he doing? Is he going to change my child's diaper? That's it. And there was no support, so he said he had to fight through it. He had to work harder and harder. And my story is different. I work for the YMCA-Philadelphia. I've been there it'll be 10 years in July.
Wow.
I started in 2015. I started as a camp counselor, and then I moved on to be an after-school counselor, and I did that almost all of my years of being at the Y. And then once I graduated with my associates, I switched over to the ECE department. So it'll be 3 years that I've been in the ECE department. So I kind of knew everyone in my branch. So I didn't have those challenges that everyone else had. Actually, everyone was like, "Yeah, we need you to come over."
So they were welcoming.
I am the only male in my department. I am the only man of color in my department. So a lot of parents was like, "We want Mr. Davion. We want Mr. Davion." So I've never experienced the challenges that everyone else experienced. My challenge was different. I was embraced.
That's
with
good.
love. I have a connection with all of my laborers.
And the parents too? The parents was the same way?
And the parents as well.
That's awesome.
You may have your little few.
Yeah, you always got those.
Most of my parents were very welcoming. They loved that, I was in their classroom. It's so bad that sometimes they're like, can we call you? Because he's not acting right. And
and you gotta get on that phone.
We can't have personal relationships with our parents, but I'll deal with them in school, whatever. So it's like.
So is that a thing? Like you can't have personal relationships with the parents? Like is that forbidden or whatever? Because I don't know.
In my job at the YMCA, it's forbidden.
So it's like a conflict of interest type of deal? Okay.
So we're not allowed to babysit outside of the Y. We're not allowed to have personal contact. We're not allowed to have personal relationships.
Wow.
And it's kind of
I guess to keep the professionalism, I guess, and so this doesn't get messy, because it can get messy.
But I also feel like it should be some type of
connection. That's why I'm surprised.
Connection, because what they're doing at home, if their child is acting up at home, they should be able to come to tell me that this child is acting up at home, so that we can be on the same page.
Right, a partnership.
Working of how to fix their behavior. But I have parents come tell me about their marriage affairs, everything.
And you become the therapist.
And I was always told, I think my mom always, because I get this from my mom, and I used to always yell at my mom because my mom is she's very nurturing. She's very nurturing when it comes to her kids. And so when the parents see how nurturing they feel comfortable, they have their relationship. So I've witnessed parents come to my mom about personal relationships. My mom is their counselor, their finance counselor, their doctor.
Everything.
I'm just like, no, you're just a teacher. You're just a director. She's like, no, I'm everything. I used to get annoyed.
Yeah. But you know what? That's funny. Because so his mom, she runs a family child care business that has been going on for years. She got decades under her belt. She's seen hundreds of kids come through there, and I know that had to have an impact on you. But one thing that's why I say to anybody, family child care is my baby, because I grew up in family child care, and it is that's the source of our family child care, that you do get that family vibe. Because like when I talk to your mother, I just want to come over there and get something to eat. You know what I mean?
And she cooks home cooked meals for them.
And you can tell, like, if you meet his mother, she's that type of woman. She's that type of black woman that you can tell in her eyes she don't play. But she ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. She gonna make sure you fed. She gonna make sure you're alright. She not gonna let nobody mess with you. Like, she's that kind of woman. Like, and I haven't even met her in person. This is just me being, working with her online, and us, we get to talk on the phone, we get to do Zooms and stuff like that, and getting to hear the story. That's how I heard about you, because I'm a person. I'm very inquisitive. I love to hear the stories, and some of my favorite stories is in this industry because it's so selfless. Like this, that's a gift and a curse I feel for this industry. It's the selflessness, and that's the hard part with craft, because we got to tell you, okay, you got to be a business. You can't just give everything for free, but the heart of the people in this business is give it. And I'm not saying that's wrong. It's not wrong. It's very right. But at the end of the day, we have to put a system to that so we make sure that you're taken care of,
right,
and you're replenished. So when I was talking to your mom about, her background and how she got into it, and then she started talking about you, I said, wait a minute, what? Your son? And she was like, yeah, he's the teacher. And I said, she was like, no, he been doing this, that. I said, I gotta talk to him. And that's when I told her about the show.
I first started out working with children at my mom's daycare.
Yeah. And I was like, what? And then what I was not going to say shocked, and I was surprised that you didn't either work with her or open your own business. So when she told me that you moved over to the Y, I was like, oh, okay, well, I like that you still took the principles and the foundation, but you did your own thing with it. You know what I mean? And I love that. And that's why when it comes to one of the overarching things in this whole series of Men in DCE is, one, the lack of it as far as the support for it, and two, the misconception that you can't earn a career, in it. And when it comes to being a man, we already know, we're all over the internet about men being the providers, and a lot of men don't really see this as a place you can make money. You know what I mean? Because this is not a glamorous field. Like, we're not blinged out on a red carpet. We can't be. We were in St. Louis this summer at the conference. But what I'm saying is, we don't get those stories. So that's why I like to bring on men in the industry. Hey, how you doing? Come on through. So we live. So the reason is, I want to make sure that everybody understands that what's the pathway? Like you said, you started out working for your mom, and then you took that knowledge. What did you do next? Did you go straight into working at the Y? Did you go to school? What was the process?
I started the summer camp.
That's right.
In the process of summer camp, I was in school, but I wasn't in school for early childhood. I was in school for computers and other stuff that I just...
Is that a passion of yours, the computers?
No.
Why? Because it makes money?
It was just something to do.
See, that's what I do.
I didn't like it. I was like, I don't like this. This is boring. I don't like it. I hate it. And then my mom was like, why don't you just go for EC? And I was just like, okay, I can try it. And I've been here ever since. I graduated with my associates. I'm back in school for my bachelor's of early childhood administration.
Okay.
I actually want to open up a group home.
Really?
For boys.
I love that.
13 boys. So I'm just gonna continue until my life is done.
I know that's right. I love the group home. I've always been obsessed with group homes. I didn't grow up in a group home. I grew up at my grandmother's house, but it was like a group home. There was a lot of us cousins that lived there.
My mom and I would be great because actually she might kill me about this, but one of my mom's dreams is she wants to open up a group home for teen pregnant girls.
Wow. I'm so glad that you said that, because that's another program that I work with. Shout out to, well, rest in peace to Dr. Carolyn Graham. She was council member here in DC. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She passed recently, so shout out to her. She's a great woman. She's actually my cousin-in-law. And she has a program right here in DC in Northeast for women who aged out of foster care that have a child. So there's two programs actually. There's the 18 program and there's the 21 program, because those are two separate age groups when it comes to the system. And what happens is when you're in the system, once you age out, it's like hands off. So it's not really any transitional programs for you. And I've been working with that program for years. Like she started that program some years ago. And so, but I've never heard of anything like it. Like they have apartments fully furnished for them with 2 bedrooms. They have I did the workforce development piece for them, so I did a lot of trainings and things like that, and helping them get their resumes together to look for jobs. They had a childcare center inside the building, and it was a system where everybody rotated, so everybody had to work there at some point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you got to put some skin in the game. They don't pay them. They don't pay to have their child there. So when you said that, I think that is a great idea, because that one little program, most people never even heard about it. Right. And it's not huge where it's like 100 girls, you know what I mean? So it's probably like maybe 20, 30 girls tops. So imagine what you guys are doing. You talking about you want to do a group home for boys. And tell me about that inspiration, where that comes from.
My mom, I don't know if you know this, my mom was a foster mom.
Yes, I do, yeah.
So I'm her only child. So when my mom became a foster mom, and she first had teen girls, and then the boys came over, and just to see the stuff that they've been through, and what they were going through before they came to my mom, or before they came to us,
right?
It was an eye opener. In the beginning, I had to apologize because I was mean. Yeah? I was mean
to the kids or to your mother?
To the kids, because I was the only child. Oh. I was used to having things to myself. I wasn't used to sharing. Yeah. I wasn't used to sharing other things, sharing my toys or games or anything. It was just me. It was just me and my mom. Yeah. So my mom had to open up my eyes and say, you have to understand that you're blessed, and having these kids wish they were in the feet that you're in. So that's what made me decide to say, I think I want to open up a group home, but I don't want to open up your typical group home. I want to open up a group home where we're a family. Yeah. Because when my mom was a foster mom, because she adopted 6 million kids. Yeah, I heard. I was like, what? When my mom became a mom, we were still, every Friday she would make sure she'd take us out. We were going to like basketball games, concerts, trips, and stuff. And so I was like, I feel like, because I hear about the group homes and I hear about the bad, sad stories. Yeah. So I was like, I want to be one of those people in Philadelphia, just to make a difference and show them that you are loved. You're not just being dropped off because they don't know where to put you. Like
right, or no one wants you, or
like no one wants you. I want you to succeed in life. I want you to feel like you have a family. I want to go to games, have holidays together. Yeah, stuff like that. So that's one of my dream goals.
I love that.
I get the love and passion, not just from my mom, but also from my grandmother, bless me her memory. She, I think October 15th made a year that she passed away. And just to hear the stories that came from her at her funeral. This is my mom's mom. At the funeral, she was a loving person. I was told, you know, as she growing up, she nurtured all her brothers and sisters. She's the oldest. She nurtured all her brothers and sisters. She made sure they had food and all the other stuff. And then when she migrated over to the U.S.,
where's she from?
We're from Jamaica.
Oh, yeah, Jamaican. Yeah.
So when she migrated to the U.S., she did the same thing. Her door was always open. No, if anybody needed a place to stay, if anybody needed a meal, the door was always open. And I'd just be like, how do you do it?
You can't even help yourself. You got all the generations, and who knows what her mother was like. Forget about it. So it's just embedded in you.
It is.
Now, do you have any kids yet?
No.
Okay, do you want kids? Because sometimes
to be honest,
that work with kids are like, I got enough kids.
No.
These are all my kids.
I don't want no children.
Well, listen, I love that even if you don't have your own children, that you give this gift to other people's children, because you know, I say we, because we all children, we all need it, you know. So I'm just so excited to have you here, and I know it's getting late, so he's got to go back to class. What time is it?
12:45.
Okay, so he's got to go back to class, and we're gonna talk more. We're gonna do some more interviews, but I'm super excited to have you and spend some time with you and get you by yourself and talk to you about your journey. And you know, we're gonna do more of this. We're in Philly all the time. That you just saw Jahi, that's one of my partners. He's one of the founders of Better Futures. He's here. He's actually from Philly.
Okay.
So, you know, definitely want to get you guys together so you guys can meet and talk and have more with you. So, guys, you want to make sure that you catch this episode on our YouTube channel at the Craft Cafe Live Show. Okay? And we're going to see you at the next interview. Say bye.